Hello, I'm Dallas Jackson, Superintendent of the Forest Hills Schools, and welcome to the first episode of the Forest Hills Schools Today. The purpose of this show is to highlight the many accomplishments of our students and our staff, as well as the initiatives that are occurring throughout the district. Today, we will begin by introducing you to the four newest members of the Forest Hills family of administrators, our four new principals. And then we'll take a look at our band performances and talk with both the band directors of Anderson and Turpin as they explain their new performance competition shows, as well as the band expo for the year. Welcome back to the Forest Hills Schools Today program. I'm Dallas Jackson, Superintendent, and with me today are our four newest principals to the district. Aaron Storer is the newest assistant principal at Maddox Elementary. Damon Davis is the assistant principal at Mercer Elementary. Chris Flanagan is the principal at Ayer Elementary, and Mike Broadwater is the new principal at Anderson. We'll start with Aaron. Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your experiences at Maddox thus far this year.
I taught fourth grade in the Miamisburg School District for 8 years, and then I was a teacher on special assignment the last 3 years helping Miamisburg to roll out the Common Core standards in K-5. So it's been a great experience so far at Maddox, collaborating with teachers, discussing the Common Core, and really digging into those standards at each grade level.
Wow, that's great. Is there any new initiative or anything that you're really excited about at Maddox Elementary this year?
I'm really looking forward to working with the teachers. Each grade level we're going to meet once a month to kind of help bridge the gap between the late arrivals. So anything that's being discussed at the late arrivals, the grade level teams and myself are going to kind of look at those standards and do a couple more things with those before the next late arrival. We're also doing the theme, How Full Is Your Bucket, where we're discussing with students what it means to be a bucket filler, not a bucket dipper, and so we'll be having an award each month. 2 representatives from each classroom will be recognized as being bucket fillers, as well as staff members.
Wow, that's a great initiative. Thank you so much. Damon, you come to us from Indian Hill, a neighboring school district.
That's right.
As a classroom teacher. How were those experiences at Indian Hill? How were you able to relate those experiences to help you out at Mercer Elementary this year?
Well, I think first of all, those experiences were really formative to this process of transitioning from the classroom all the way to being an assistant principal. The first thing is Mercer Elementary, as well as the Forest Hills School District, has a commitment to response to intervention, which is it's a framework that we use in our teaching to make sure that any student that is struggling that might need support or extra time, that we're providing that for them. And so I think with Indian Hill, I had a lot of experience with that on the side of the classroom teacher, as well as working with families to communicate that. And so that was a really big help as I transition to this new role, because part of my new role now is supporting families and supporting students with the response to intervention. The other part is just understanding the belief that all students can learn. And so we come from the perspective that not only can students learn, but students can excel regardless of aptitude, that if they're given the right time, if they're given the right support, that they can excel. And we've seen success stories with that, and I was fortunate to be part of that. And so I think those experiences were really critical for me understanding how to bridge this next gap.
That's great. Again, I'd like to welcome both of you to our district as our newest assistant principals. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
And now to my left, I have Chris Flanagan. Chris isn't actually new to the district, as he was the assistant principal for the last couple years at Mercer Elementary, but he's earned that position at Ayer Elementary as the newest principal at Ayer. Tell us about your experiences so far, Chris.
It's been great. Going to the other side of Beachmont has been fantastic, and it's a really warm staff. The community has welcomed us, welcomed me, and we've had a lot of great PTA meetings and kickoff events where I've gotten to meet families and meet kids and just get in the classrooms. Also reading the bucket book to all the kids and just trying to build that positive building culture.
How many students do you have at Ayer Elementary this year?
Our enrollment right now is 667 kids, kindergarten through 6th grade. And it's a vibrant building, vibrant community, and I love it.
What a great building, great staff, great kids, and of course, as you said, you're a great staff and community there. Welcome aboard. We really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you filled that position at Air.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Mike Broadwater, principal at Anderson. Mike actually comes to us from probably the furthest distance. He started out in his career in North Royalton schools up in the Cleveland area. Mike has actually been an administrator for the last 10 years or so, by way of North Royalton down to Lakota and now to us at Anderson. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself and what are the great things going on at Anderson this year?
Well, started my 26th year in education. First 15 years as a teacher in math, computer science, and coaching, and all that goes with high school, and enjoyed all of that. And then the last 10 years as administrator, as an assistant principal at North Royalton, and then also at Lakota. And I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be at Anderson High School. It's a community that supports the high school, and that's how you have successful kids, and that's kind of what we're shooting for. Initiatives this year, we want to look at kind of build on the experience I've had the last 10 years curricularly. I've been in charge of different advanced placement programs at the two schools. We're going to look at our AP programs, see if we are meeting the needs of our kids in terms of academic offerings, and whether it be AP or honors, or are we putting our kids in the proper place to make them successful.
Well, Mike, I just say thank you for considering joining our team. I look at you and I know that you have the qualities that it takes to lead Anderson High School. What I'd like to share with our audience is, as they already know, that both Anderson and Turpin High Schools are ranked not only as two of the top districts, high schools in the state, but also nationally ranked. And so, I know you're going to do a great job. And again, I'd like to welcome you and to Chris for being a part of our team as well. And I'd like to thank the four of you for coming and visiting with us this afternoon a little bit. And to our guest, if any of our parents or any of our audience would like to contact you, I'm sure it'd be fine to give you a call or maybe an email. They can get your email addresses online if they'd like to do that as well. Okay. Well, when we return, we're going to have the opportunity to speak with our two band directors of those two great high schools. And we'll talk a little bit about their band programs for the upcoming season. Welcome back to this episode of the Forest Hill Schools Today program. With me today are band director Brian Lee, band director of Turpin High School, and director Toby Biederman, band director of Anderson High School. Well, guys, this is kind of a relaxing time of the year for you, I can imagine, with what's going on. No, very seriously, I know that you're working really hard at the beginning of the school year for your competition band performances. Brian, why don't we start, and you can share with us a little bit about what goes into that.
Well, marching band is a giant animal. There is a lot of planning that goes into our competition shows. It's not just about showing up at the football games and supporting those teams, though we have a great time doing that. But on Saturdays in the fall, we go out to competitions. We compete against other marching bands of like size and like school size. And we get evaluated by a panel of adjudicators that are trained by Ohio Music Education Association. And it's really a great tool for us to teach music and use that competitive spirit in a positive way to encourage our students to achieve at higher and higher levels. We begin planning as early as January of that academic year, and we start putting a show together. We try to design a show that's going to tell a story, something that's going to make sense from beginning to middle to end. And we design musical elements, visual elements through our color guard. We have strong percussion programs at both Anderson and Turpin High School, and we try to put everything together in a package that's going to both be entertaining for a football crowd at halftime and do well in competition with those panels of adjudicators.
And very good. Great explanation of what goes on. I'm very fortunate to have had the opportunity to actually watch both bands at their competitions, and both do an excellent job. In fact, Toby, congratulations. You just came off of your first competition of the year at Ottawa Glandorf, and I understand that the Anderson band took grand champion. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, grand champion is, in a nutshell, and Turpin's been in the same boat over the years. is first place overall, which is really rewarding for our kids. They work very hard, like Brian said. These kids, when the athletes start in August, we fire up. And our coaches, we like to joke that when they fire up to 2-a-days, the football team's firing up, and we fire up to all-a-days. We go first thing in the morning to 9 at night, and then entertainment after that. And, they just work so incredibly hard, and we're very proud of them. Yeah, the kids won grand champion, first class in our place, and best percussion, best music, and several other trophies they're very excited about. But like I shared with the parents, I'm more excited about the hard work that they're learning to put into the activity, whether it's band, life, science, basketball, whatever it is. We just want to encourage them to do the best they can, and that'll serve them well in life.
Well, I can attest to the hard work because they practice right outside of my office.
You're welcome.
And quite frankly, it's been phenomenal. And I can always tell when fall is coming and school is just about ready to begin because of the Anderson Band that's beginning to practice outside. It's been really great. What's the name of your show this year, Toby?
The show, like Brian said, we start very early in that year, like February, January. The show this year is entitled Revolve, with a capital E. And it's all very concentric, lots of circles moving, and then it basically traces the evolution of music. It starts with African traditional drumming, goes through classical, medieval music, and then cycles through jazz, funk, and then rock and roll. We end with Jimi Hendrix this year, which is really cool. And we try to strike a balance of pleasing the crowd, having some fun, and doing a program that will also be competitive with, from an arts standpoint, and try to educate the kids, because it's not all about Friday nights, it's about teaching the kids, and that's what we try to strike the balance of.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Brian, tell us about the Turpin Show this year. The name, what's the length of a common show, and tell us all about that.
Well, typically the length of a marching band competition show is about 8 minutes, and you'll find anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. But typically we try to stay about 8 minutes long. And the title of the Turpin Show this year is The Assignment. And the concept is that we took music from the Matrix movies and the Bourne movies, and we put together our own little story of sort of secret agent, action, thriller type thing. And so we have a lot of high energy movement on the field, a lot of high energy music. It's very, very exciting stuff like you'd hear out of a film score. And we tell a little bit of a story about an agent who has an assignment to retrieve a briefcase and get it delivered to the secret location by the end. And in the end, the briefcase gets delivered up to the center podium where the conductor is, and all is well with the world.
Oh, that's great. And actually, I've seen that competition, and not the competition yet, but I've seen the show. It's just a great show. When is your first competition, by the way? When's Turpin's competition?
Our first competition is just coming up this Saturday. It's on, we're going to be at Hamilton High School up north of town, and it's, as I said before, an Ohio Music Education Association competition. So we'll see a panel of adjudicators and get a lot of great feedback and see how we're doing. We're excited for this first opportunity.
That is wonderful. And I would like to invite the entire community to participate and show for a great event that's going to be happening on October 20th. And Toby, maybe you can share a little bit about that. It's the 35th anniversary of the FEMA Association's Band Expo. And basically that's a show that is put on by FEMA, by both of you, and that each and every year we kind of take turns of who's sponsoring it, and this year it's you. So tell us a little bit about that show.
First of all, the Band Expo is put on by one of the greatest booster organizations we've got in the district. Brian and I both have our band boosters, which do wonderful things for our band programs. But FEMA overarching supports all the instrumental programs, orchestra, band from 5th grade, 4th grade with strings, all the way up through the high school. And this is their largest fundraiser of the year. They make money, and hopefully we're going to have a beautiful day, so everybody can come to that. It's going to be awesome. We partner with community partnership with Wells Fargo Advisors, and they're just very supportive. We give prize money to the first place trophies, which is the only state competition to do that, and it's known statewide that we run one of the best competitions. So it's going to be a really fun event. We've got 8 bands signed up so far, and I'm sure that we'll get more before October 20th hits.
Well, thank you, Toby. And quite frankly, if you think about that, 8 bands times that times 150 or more people per band, we're talking at well over 1,000 students that will be performing at Anderson High School on October 20th. And if I estimate is correct, I believe we have somewhere between 4,500 to 5,000 spectators that will be coming in and out during the day. So it is quite an event. And the great thing about that particular Band Expo for me as a superintendent is I get to see both of our bands performing on the field at the very end, not competing against anybody, basically just showing our community the great program that both Turpin and Anderson have. So again, thank you gentlemen for coming this afternoon to talk to us about the great band programs that we have and the Band Expo. Looking forward to that October 20th. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and joining us for our first edition to the Forest Hill Schools Today program. I look forward to coming back next month and presenting more quality information regarding our schools. And I'd like to leave you with some footage of both the Turpin and the Anderson bands as we move on. Thank you so much.
We are live on the air, and you are listening to WTHS Radio.
In this world, there is right and there is wrong, good versus evil, those that wish to protect and those that wish to destroy.